Hello everyone, it is Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Today we are playing Pirate Shadow Priest on the Wild Mode ladder. Now the concept of this deck has been popularised by various high legend players on Wild Mode, but one player in particular that comes to mind that deserves credit for this is Otters. But this particular version of the deck is courtesy of Boltzmann. Now, Boltzmann, as you know, is an excellent Hearthstone deck builder, strategist. I call him a Hearthstone scientist. So when he called this his favourite priest deck ever, that is some high praise coming from him for a deck. And therefore I thought, I need to give this a try. I need to see what all the hype is about. I need to see what all of the fuss is about. And I'm so glad that I looked into this deck. I play very little priest in general, and so for me this has been so refreshing and so much fun to play. I was going to sit back and chill for a couple of weeks at the start of the expansion, let the meta settle, let questline Warlock settle down. But then when people like Boltzmann send me these amazing decks, I think, damn, I've got to try them. And in terms of your strategy with this deck, in the mulligan, you are looking for 1-drops. You have pirates. You also have ship's cannon, so you can be a little bit like Pirate Warrior, get a ship's cannon going early, get those pirates on the board, push a fair bit of early damage to your opponent's face. After all, this is an aggressive deck. Voidtouched Attendant, also a good 1-drop. You've got Tour Guide to... You do not keep Shadow Visions, you do not keep Thrive in the Shadows usually, and you never keep Benedictus in the mulligan. So as the game progresses, you will do damage with your pirates, with your hero power, Mind Spike, because Benedictus is in this deck, so you get that 2 damage hero power. And you have, of course, Mind Blasts to finish off your opponent. Shadow Visions can help you discover more copies of Mind Blast, so you can stack up those Mind Blasts, get that little bit of extra damage in if you need it against your opponent. It's pretty good. And all in all, hey, super fun deck to play. I would seriously recommend it to you. Let's have a look at the deck in action then. It's against a Paladin as our first opponent. And I see 2 1-drops. I think they're worth keeping. Now, a little bit more on the Attendant, as you can see there in my hand. So, with this card, it is worth noting that both heroes take 1 extra damage from all sources. Now I'm going to play the Attendant here. I'm wondering if I should have played a Pirate instead, just to get patches on board. Maybe that would have been better.
The light dims, but we fight.
But now I can get 4 Pirates on the board. That's actually pretty cool. Or I have the choice of pinging the shield, trading in, and killing the minion. But I just like the idea of having a super wide board. Now look, if the Attendant sticks and if my pirates can go face, they're going to be doing 1 additional damage to the face. That is really significant in the early game. So naturally my opponent is going to target the Attendant as best as they can. The Attendant does instill a little bit of fear, I think, in the heart of the opponent. They feel the need to kill it off as quickly as possible. And it's also important to note that your own hero takes the additional damage too. So you need to be careful about when you play the Attendant. You need to be careful about what the board state is like when you play it. Obviously, you can speed up your own demise if your opponent has a stacked board and pushes additional damage to your own face. Or if the opponent has spells in hand, for example, which can kill you because they do additional damage to your face too. So yeah, these are just things that should be considered. So, Libram Paladin. Now this weapon that we've got, Shadowcloth Needle. Absolutely love it. After you cast a shadow spell, deal 1 damage to all enemies and lose 1 durability. Why did this weapon have to lose durability? Couldn't they just make it so that it had infinite durability? Wouldn't that be so cool? Probably so broken, right? But so cool. And it's also important to note, and this is quite a cute observation, Shadowcloth Needle has synergy with Southsea Deckhand, because of course the Deckhand gets charged when you have a weapon equipped. And I always get flummoxed here on what spells to choose, but in this case, with Raised Dead, I get my Attendant back, which is awesome. And now you'll see the value from the Attendant. Our hero power does an additional damage, and look, our pirates as well are doing 1 additional damage. Our opponent is nearly dead. We have the Mind Blast next turn. They need a miracle here to come back into this game. What miracle can they find?
Do you have an audience with the king?
Oh, that's pretty beefy. Oh, that's really beefy. Is this the miracle that they need to come back into this game? Well, if we add up this damage, I need to do a bit of thinking and counting because I'm not used to this particular situation. I think this should be lethal, right? Because Mind Blast does 6, and the weapon does 2, and the hero power is overkill. Because we had this Attendant on the board. Fantastic. Alright. Next game is Joined in Progress, and oh look, it's everyone's favourite opponent, Secrets Mage. Considering that we've just hit a new expansion, hoping for a new meta, and we still see Secrets Mage, and I guess that goes to show that Secrets Mage is still effective, it still works, it's still efficient. I think for years now, Secrets Mage has had a presence in, what, nearly every wild meta that we've had? More or less? It's always been there. And you can see why.
We have many secrets.
Ooh, Kirator Mage without the secret. That's unusual. Interesting. So, developing the Attendant here, I need to remember that the Attendant does not increase the damage taken by minions, it's only increasing the damage taken for heroes. And also, must remember to play the Fellwing. I used to have a tendency to forget to play it. Because I'd do all the damage phase, and I would miss the discount on its cost. I'd end the turn really quickly, and then I'd be really sad.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Okay, goodbye to our Attendant. That's unfortunate. Mind Blast. Decent. Now, would you go face here, or would you trade? There's the question. I prefer to trade. The Shadowcloth player in me who plays slower decks likes to trade and feels safe. Given that I'm not used to playing aggressive decks, maybe I need to develop a more aggressive mindset in certain circumstances. Okay. We need to test for counterspell here, so I'm happy to give up Thrive in the Shadows. And it is counterspell, it's unfortunate. But we are now racing the Mage. The Mage at 10 health. Oh god, that's a lot of damage on that board. We need to hope they don't have Ice Block up. I think that is absolutely key.
Come, pray with me.
Ooh, we get Raised Dead. We need to try and end this now. Raised Dead, what can you give us? Oh. That's pretty amazing.
The shadow
Shadow Bomber. Goodbye, Mage. That felt really good. Alright.
I will light the way.
It's time for Warlock. This will be the ultimate test for this deck. Questline Warlock hasn't been very pleasant for me to play against. They just managed to complete their quest lines so quickly. So let's see if we can race them here. And I've got my eye on the Shadow Bomber. And with the ship's cannon coming in, I think it makes sense to hold back my pirate. Next turn, we can play the cannon, coin out the pirate, get the patches on board, do a little bit more damage. It's pretty decent.
Flesh fails. Try.
Our concern is if the opponent plays 2 1-drops.
Armor. Light
And there they have it. 2 3 health 1-drops. That's pretty annoying, to say the least. But I need to do this here. I need to get the board presence going. See where these shots land. Okay. I was hoping that
some for you.
maybe we could kill one of those minions. Almost forgot to play the Fellwing there. But yeah, I was... They're impressed. This is not a bad board for turn 2. I was hoping to try to kill one minion off with the cannon. I know that is optimistic thinking. Unlikely, I guess. Why did they trade into the Fellwing? What do they got?
Flesh fails.
Okay.
Try this time.
Oh, okay, sure. They want the Raised Dead value.
Lightly used armor. Armor.
Oh gosh, look at all of that armor. That is quite disgusting. How do we get through that? And the cautious player in me here wants to start trading. I guess we protect our cannon if we trade. But if we trade, do we need to trade into all of these minions? Or just one of them? 2 of them? I didn't think this through very well. No, I really did not think this through very well. Kind of confused, but... Oh, it went face. Okay, sure. That turn felt very messy. I think I was kind of making it up as I went along. So there are efficiencies to be had with this deck. Efficiencies in terms of the spells you play, the order you play them in, the trades you make, the trades you don't make. Oh, and here goes the opponent with the quest line. Oh dear. And look at all the healing they're getting. We are pretty much starting from scratch here. Right, Shadow Visions to find me, to get me. Mind Blast. Okay. The key thing about Shadow Visions is you're getting a copy of the spell from your deck. I think it's quite important, whereas the the Thrive in the Shadows is discover a spell from your deck. So I think it takes the spell out of your deck. And I think particularly in this game, having additional copies of Mind Blast is going to be quite important here. Okay. So the weapon feels good here. If I Mind Blast their face, I can clear the board. And look, my deckhand has charge. Haha! Right. Once again, we will be sad if there is healing. Or we are sad if we see that card, Dark Glare. See, that's a card that either needs to disappear or get nerfed. I'm not a fan of it. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, that's big. That's annoying. Goodbye to our board. On a positive side, our health total is still relatively high. We don't have any kind of lethal here, right? So I'm going to save my Attendant and see what I pick up on the next turn. That wasn't lethal, right? If I played the Attendant? No. Okay, here comes that damage to our face. Their ability to complete their quest lines so early, I think is really frustrating, honestly. Okay, here we go. Let us see what we draw here. Oh, that's good. Let's play that. Because that does what? 2 damage to their face, and oh look, we've just found lethal.
The shadow engulfs.
Wow. That was close. That was really, really close. Too close for comfort. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Boltzmann's Pirate Shadow Priest. This is a beautiful, beautiful deck, and is probably the most engaging priest deck that I've ever played. At least in my mind, the most enjoyment that I've ever got out of priest. It looks like I'll be playing a bit more priest then in the future. So, tell me what you think about this deck in the comments section below. If you've already got the cards, maybe you want to give the deck a try. It is 6,760 dust. Would I recommend that you craft this deck? If this is the style of play that you enjoy, personally, I think it's worth it. Does this deck win games? I think it does. But also remember that the meta is in its early days. And things can change, things can move. Decks that are good today could become terrible tomorrow. Decks that are good today could just get refined even further and become even better tomorrow. But in the early days of an expansion, crafting anything that you don't have already is a risk, right? Spending that dust. So please keep that in mind, okay? If you do have questions about this deck, you could leave them in the comments section below, and I'm sure that Boltzmann will come back to you as soon as he can. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video today, and I will see you all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun. Until next time, please stay safe everyone, please take care of yourselves, and as always, please be good to one another.